This might be the cutest theme park I have ever been to. Located all the way at the top of New Hampshire in the White Mountains lies the small town of Jefferson and their family theme park, Santa's Village. It opened its doors in 1953 after, I kid you not, the founders saw a deer cross the road and thought, that could be a reindeer, what if Santa lived here? And thus the theme park was born. Today they operate 23 rides and attractions specifically designed for families with kids. It features immersive theming designed to make guests feel like they are at an actual village in the North Pole, and not an inch went untouched. Santa's Village can only be described as a true winter wonderland. And in summer 2024, I had the opportunity to visit for my first ever time, not expecting much, but ended up being blown away. Today I'm going to walk you through that guest experience and describe the various rides, attractions, and things to do at Santa's Village, and hopefully give some tips in between. If this place wasn't on your radar before, I hope by the end of this video it will be. So we'll start back with the town of Jefferson because as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, this park is located all the way at the top of New Hampshire, making this one of the most remote theme parks in the US, because the town itself is home to just over 1,000 people. If you want to visit a city with over 10,000 people, you're going to need to drive about an hour 40 minutes south to Concord. The nearest major airport to fly into if you want to go to Santa's Village is probably going to be Portland, Maine at over 2 hours away. And frankly, that remoteness might actually work in the park's favor, at least in terms of atmosphere, because there are times where it genuinely feels like you're just walking through the woods, you don't hear any nearby cars, it is just you in nature in this happy little village, and it is kind of magical. Every ride, food stand, or building installed in this park was put there with purpose. It all brings you back to that holiday season and the feelings associated with it. The foliage resembles a Christmas tree. The lampposts look like candy canes. There's elves everywhere, fake igloos, a church and manger scene, even real live reindeer. You're gonna see all of this while walking around, and if you stop and pay attention, you'll also hear in the background holiday music from all eras, old, new, from various Christmas specials, everything. The amount of time and commitment that was put into creating that charm and personality is nothing short of impressive. And that is just scratching the surface, because the amount of things to do here really makes Santa's Village a full day park, which is something that I did not expect going in. I heard that there were 2 roller coasters here, and that was about it. My initial thoughts were, oh yeah, this is gonna be a quick like half day, we'll go in for a couple hours, that'll be it. You can imagine my surprise when we got there at open and left just before close. And that's coming from a grown adult. If you're going there with your family, with kids, oh yeah, you're not gonna run out of things to do, and that is done very intentionally. The design of this park is very smart, and it all comes back to this little thing called the alphabet game. This is the thing that everyone runs to at Rope Drop. It's not Midnight Flyer, it's not the Dark Ride, it's Elf University to pick up their alphabet card. This is how you will see the entire park, and it will keep the kids entertained the entire day. At Elf University, you will receive a punch card that you will bring with you around the park as you search to find every single elf statue. All of them have been assigned a letter A through Z. Your goal is to completely punch out the Christmas tree, and once you have done so, you return to Elf University, present your card, and receive a certificate of graduation. It is genius because it is something that you'll be keeping in mind throughout the day as you're going from ride to ride, looking out for those little elf statues, making sure you don't miss one, and then when you get down to those last couple letters and you realize that you have missed one, you then have to run around the park trying to find that last little elf, and it is thoroughly entertaining. Do you know how hard it is to keep kids' attention nowadays? Attention spans are so short, and sometimes even rides aren't enough. You might do it, call it a one and done, and then move on to the next, but this is something that everyone can participate in, regardless of age or height. I've never seen anything like it done at any other park, so do not miss this when you come to Santa's Village. Now, let's get into a couple of those rides, starting first, of course, with the roller coasters. As you walk up to Santa's Village, you'll immediately get a view of Midnight Flyer to your left. This is their newest roller coaster, just debuting recently here in 2024. It's a Vekoma sit-down family coaster, specifically their Horus model, the only one in the United States. It stands 41 feet in the air and reaches speeds of 25 miles per hour. It features that beautiful dark green paint designed to mimic the northern lights. So in this scenario, you are climbing aboard a sleigh ride, traveling through the night sky. And if you enjoyed it after the first lap, as you approach the station, just give the ride operators a thumbs up, and if everyone on board does the same thing, then you'll go around a second time. And then all the way in the back of the park is Poogie Penguin Spin-Out Coaster, an SBF Visa. And the trains are absolutely adorable, they look like little penguins. So not the craziest roller coaster lineup. If I were in charge, I would definitely add another one to add a little bit more variety. But I actually think there's something even better that should be added here, and I'll tell you about that in a little bit. Other attractions include a log flume that bumps up against the parking lot. It's called Yule Log Flume. Extremely clever, very cute ride going out through the woods. Rockin' around the Christmas tree is a wave swinger, very clever. They have a set of antique cars, very cute. A really long sleigh ride that passes above the entire left side of the park, gives you great views through the trees. YouTubing has nothing to do with YouTube except for the fact that you are on YouTube right now. That makes this YouTubing on YouTube, but it's essentially just snow tubing in the summer. There's plenty of smaller, family-friendly flat rides, a decent-sized water park, as I mentioned earlier. That's on the front left side of the park, very well themed, reminds me a lot of Blizzard Beach down in Orlando. And then finally, a shooting dark ride called the Great Humbug Adventure. This features Ebenezer Scrooge animatronics as you travel through the house trying to shoot the humbugs. It's a very creative concept and works well at Santa's Village. But that being said, I think the potential for Christmas-themed dark rides is just through the roof. I would love to see a traditional dark ride with practical sets featuring Santa Claus, the elves, reindeer, something that's story-driven. I don't know how the licensing would work, but if they were to somehow do a retelling of The Night Before Christmas, that would be absolutely incredible. When I was in Japan, we visited a theme park called Parque España Shima Spain Village, and they, weirdly enough, had a Christmas-themed dark ride that featured all these different Christmas lights, and it wasn't anything crazy, but it was cute, and I think that's another attraction that really shows the potential with holiday dark rides. It's a theme that is vastly underutilized, and clearly, from this humbug ride, we can see that they would do a dark ride well. So I hope in the future we see something else along those lines. But as if all those attractions weren't enough, there's also plenty of live entertainment as you're walking around in the form of walk-around characters. You'll see elves, the Sugar Plum Fairy, and of course you can even meet Santa himself. It really is a warm and welcoming atmosphere. Everyone we encountered was so friendly and happy to be there, even down to the ride operators, those in maintenance, or working on the horticulture. The landscaping at Santa's Village is beautiful. The place is so well kept, and we witnessed people actively tending to it. You could really see the dedication to keeping this place clean. And one of the genius ways they ensure that this park does not get dirty is they have themed up each of the trash cans to be little penguins. And they are so cute. All you do is lift up their top hat and throw your things away. And that's fun. It incentivizes people to throw their items away. Why would you leave it sitting out when you could go open up a little penguin? That's way more fun than just a normal trash can. We witnessed kids getting photos with the trash cans, and that's awesome. I was so wildly impressed by the creative visions and out-of-the-box thinking that went into immersing guests in that holiday spirit. From the look of the buildings, the design of the rides, the names of everything. I mean, come on, Burgermeister? Frosty's Ice Cream? Polar Espresso? Is it that sweet? I guess so. You don't get that same feeling at a big corporate park. And I wish so many of these corporations put half the amount of effort into their properties as we see at Santa's Village. And here's how you really know it's not about the money. The attendance to Santa's Village is capped. Those third-generation owners do not want the park to get too busy because then it negatively affects the guest experience. So therefore, you have to make a reservation online in advance. You cannot buy a ticket at the gate. Go online, select your tickets as soon as you know you're going because they are date specific and the park frequently sells out. When we went, there were no more tickets available for the day, but the park didn't feel busy. None of the lines were long, and that's done on purpose. They would rather make their current guests happy than bring in more people. And that is a mindset we just don't see nowadays. So yeah, you might look at their ticket prices and say, $48 to $65 a person? That's a little expensive, but you know that you're gonna get a good experience, regardless of if you're going on a weekday in May or the 4th of July. And so I can see why this is a popular spot for those vacationing from like the Boston area or elsewhere in Massachusetts. They're spending most of their time in the White Mountains and then they take a day at the magical little winter town of Santa's Village. Open through the winter, if I might add. You can visit all the way up until New Year's Eve. And while personally that might not be for me because I know it would be absolutely frigid, I can imagine this place would be even more magical at night with fresh snow on the ground. And fun fact, Midnight Flyer can operate up until 13 degrees Fahrenheit, so it is possible to ride it in December. So if you find yourself in this part of America, I highly recommend visiting Santa's Village. It exceeded my expectations, pretty much ruined any other Christmas-themed land. Sorry, Holiday World. I love you guys, but that front area just does not compare to what Santa's Village has. There's very few parks on planet Earth that I would use the word magical to describe, and most of them have these huge, elaborate budgets with insane scale. And yet somehow, this tiny little park in Jefferson, New Hampshire of all places, managed to achieve that status. And I think that speaks volumes. So let me know down in the comments below if you've had the opportunity to visit, if you agree with the points that I brought up, if you think there's anything I missed, be sure to post that down below. And stay tuned for more park reviews here at Coaster Studios, and I'll see you next time.